What's up, you guys? Teddy Striker here, and Israel Adesanya is returning on February 1st to take on Nassourdine Imavov. And to be honest, I love everything about this for Israel Adesanya. I think that Israel Adesanya will win, and I can see him winning a decision here. I think that he's a better striker, and firstly, Imavov, he's got a very, very fast jab. He's got a nasty 1-2 that he was able to finish a guy like Jared Cannonier with. And also, Imavov has excellent distance control. On top of that, he does have fairly good grappling, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a threat for Israel in this fight. But let's talk about some of Imavov's weaknesses. And firstly, one of his weaknesses is the leg kicks. He does not defend the leg kicks as well as guys who have beaten Israel Adesanya in the past. Jan Blachowicz, Alex Pereira, Sean Strickland, and Duplessis were all able to take away Adesanya's leg kicks by checking the kicks, just getting the leg out the way, or using leg kicks to take away some sting out of those kicks from Adesanya. And considering that this is one of Adesanya's best weapons, if you can't take away his kicks, you're going to have a very hard time beating Israel Adesanya. And another weakness from Imavov is the way he defends punches. Firstly, he keeps his head on the center line, but he mainly uses a high guard. Like, he'll bring his right hand back to his face, and then he'll extend his lead arm, and his shoulder is protecting his chin. But the thing about that is, when you're fighting guys who have a similar reach than you, like Jared Cannonier, I believe Imavov has a 75.5-inch reach, and Jared Cannonier has a 76-inch reach, which is insane for his height. But he was able to get on the inside of that reach and land punches on Imavov, and Adesanya has a longer reach than Imavov, and he matches him in terms of height, so he's going to have a much easier time landing on Imavov. And another thing Imavov likes to do to defend is he likes to dip his head whenever he doesn't think that his opponent is going to go for a combination. His second line of defense is just to dip his head down, and that leaves himself open for a nasty uppercut. Cannonier was able to land a clean uppercut on his chin, and Adesanya was landing uppercuts on Dricus Du Plessis from both stances, and I think that he could use this weapon in this fight. Adesanya has a great jab too. He's got a nasty 1-2 that he was able to hurt Alex Pereira with several times. He was landing on him quite a bit. And, if that doesn't land, Adesanya was using a lot of body shots against Du Plessis, so I think he could, hit him with a right hook to the body just underneath Imavov's left arm. Or Adesanya could throw a body kick to Imavov. But Adesanya is going to have to be defensively aware. First of all, he's going to need to defend that jab, and Adesanya's main method of defense against jabs is just to slip on the outside of it, but eventually that's not going to work, and your opponent can just time you and make some adjustments to his rhythm to make it harder to slip. And Adesanya has gone hit clean by jabs, and one thing he should use is just parry the jab with your backhand. Just catch it, parry it, so that you have another method of defense, and also you can just pull your head out of range from that jab too. Another thing that Adesanya is going to have to be worried about is the counter-striking of Imavov. Adesanya did struggle a bit with the counter-striking of Jan Blachowicz. Robert Whittaker in the second fight a little bit, so he's going to have to be aware of that. And he's got a nasty step back right hand or intercepting counters. And we saw Sean Strickland drop Adesanya when he threw a clean 1-2 and Adesanya tried to counter him with a left hook. And he can't do that against Imavov. He's got a far better 1-2, and he's got a lot of speed. Israel Adesanya has some nasty counter-striking of his own too. He was able to hurt Kelvin Gastelum with a nasty spinning back elbow, and he even landed it against Du Plessis too. And Jared Cannonier actually landed this strike on Nassourdine Imavov because, as mentioned earlier, he doesn't really move his head out the center line. It's always there, and he's got a relatively big head, so it's easy to hit. But overall, I'm pretty confident in Adesanya winning this matchup. The only thing I'm worried about for him is the fact that he's been saying that he's not really attached to the result of the fight, and he doesn't really care if he wins or loses. He just wants to have fun fights, and that can be dangerous when you're going up against someone who's hungry, who hasn't gotten the success that you have, and that he's going to be willing to do whatever it takes to reach his goal. And what's Adesanya going to do once he starts facing real adversity? What if he gets hit real bad, gets knocked down? Is he going to have that same fire and drive that he had against Kelvin Gastelum, against Robert Whittaker in the first fight? I don't know, because Sean Strickland whenever he was beating him up in their fight, he was talking trash to him in round 4 and round 5. He was literally marching him down and saying, "Fight me," talking all kinds of trash. And Adesanya was just comfortable with losing at that moment. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Adesanya being comfortable with losing. I want him to give his all. I want to see him resist defeat as much as possible. Against Du Plessis, it looked a bit weird. Maybe he was stunned on the feet because he didn't really fight the hands of that choke. But yeah, I don't know what that was about. Obviously, he's a fighter. He's going to fight hard. But yeah, I'm slightly worried about that. But I think he is going to win this fight. And I actually love the fact that this fight is taking place early in February, because later on in February, we're going to have Du Plessis versus Strickland 2, which I think that Dricus is going to win. And then Dricus is going to fight Khamzat. And Adesanya should fight Sean Strickland next. Get that win back over him. Let Dricus fight Khamzat Chimaev. And if Dricus beats Khamzat, and if Adesanya beats Sean Strickland, then we have the rematch in 2026. Adesanya versus Du Plessis 2. And hopefully Israel Adesanya is able to get his belt back and become the first 3-time middleweight champion. But let me know what you guys think about this fight. Do you guys think that Israel Adesanya is going to win? Thank you guys for watching. God bless. And make sure you guys tune in later tonight for my review and recap of UFC Tampa, the last fight night of the year. But again, thank you guys for watching. God bless. And I'll see you later today.